welcome to my channel. What are we doing today? Today we are looking at these Pointer Curated color pencil sets that I got right here in my country. And I have the light off. Sorry if it's a bit dark because I didn't want that reflection to blind you guys. So I'm gonna take these out. I have a swatching section all made up, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you guys my first impression in part 1, and then in part 2 I'm gonna give you guys my full thoughts and perspective of what I thought of these Pointer color pencil set. I almost said watercolor color pencil sets. Okay, as you can see, I still have the price on them. They are $2.95 here in the country of Belize, which is roughly $1.45 about $1.48-$1.49 in USD. And I have 4 different sets. Now these were the sets that were available to me in my country, and it comes in a forest set, which should be mostly greens, a ocean set, which should be mostly blues, a mountain set, which I believe should be mostly browns, and a sunset, which I believe should be more oranges and reds. So we're gonna look at these sets today and see what I think about them. Please keep in mind that I still do have those Pointer Kids brand that I think I mentioned here on the channel. And one of my, I could say that this is one of my favorite pencils because I actually do enjoy using them, is the Pointer Premium color pencils. So we will be looking at these in comparison to those to see how it match up, what it is, what it does, and basically the overall feel of them. So first, you're going to get my first thoughts and impression on these, and then I'm going to tell you my perspective. Probably in a week or two, when I have some time to work with it, in about a week or two, I will give you my full thoughts and perspective. So now you see the lights are on. I think first we're going to start with this Sunset Pointer Sunset Curated colored pencil sets. That's a long name to try to remember, but that's what it is. It's a curated set, and that's the name of the curated set, Sunset. And in this comes 12 colors. Now I'm trying to reduce the glare. This is how the pencils come. This is what is written on the back. Add a punch of color to your life with Pointer art pencils. Perfect. Sorry for the glare. Perfect for artists of all ages. And that's about it. Full range, ideal for landscapes, it says. But all the pencils say the same thing. So now we're going to be looking at these. Okay. I don't want to do their order because I'm hoping that Pointer thought long and hard about the order, how these pencils should come. So they probably, thought, I don't want to offset the order. They're round. They're not dipped at the end. There's no color names and none written on the pencils themselves. So I don't know what color names these are. Pre-sharpened. It feels that it's made of wood, probably compressed wood. Now all the pencils are the same, so that's why. And I did mention to you guys that there's no color names, just the curated set. It comes from Sunset Pointer, and it has no color names, which is a little different from the other Pointer color pencils that I have that does come with color names. So now let's get to the swatching, shall we? Okay, let's get started. What can I say about these pencils? First up, my hand is hurting me, guys. I was like, there were the two thoughts going through my head. Thought number one, man, I shouldn't have taken on such an ambitious swatching project because I'm having pain in my hand. And the second thought was going through my head is that these pencils remind me so much of the Pointer, I call them their kids line of color pencils that I have. It so reminds me of that you see me grabbing my hand there, because it really did started to hurt a lot. But I'm glad that I was able to get through this swatching process. And the other thoughts I was looking at the pictures on the packaging in relation to the swatches of the pencils, and really and truly they don't really match up, like especially for the ocean set that I am looking at. The ocean, no, not the ocean, sorry, the mountain set. The mountain set came with a lot of yellow ochre colors. Yeah, that's what I said I'm looking at. It came with a lot of yellow ochre colors, and it didn't give me a lot of browns, especially the browns that I wanted. It gave me a lot of grays, which I kind of understand if you're looking at Smoky Mountains. You know, you probably will get a lot of grays, but it really didn't give me a lot of the colors I was really looking for, especially for someone like me who does a lot of cartoon drawings and cartoon illustrations, whose art is really cartoony. Skin tones does matter for me. Looking at the ocean set now, and the ocean set actually matched up. I could see the colors. I wasn't even thinking about the illustration on the packaging, but I was thinking, does this represent the ocean? It gave me a broad selection of blues and that purples just for shading. It gave me some silver for highlighting. I was seeing it. And then it came to the forest set, and I also did see it too for the forest set. It gave me a good selection of greens. It gave me a good selection of browns. It gave me a silver, which I was caught off guard by because I was thinking more foresty. I'm thinking mountains. I'm thinking blues. I'm thinking, shading. That pencil actually looked weird to me. It looked like it actually broke in the barrel, and the barrel is not properly glued together. So I was like actually very fearful that that pencil was just gonna fall apart on me. But all in all, guys, this swatching was really fun. Thank you for joining me here in part 1, and I will do a little wrap up and join you again in part 2. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I swatched them on both white and on black. So my 24 swatching actually turned into 48, and now I'm getting some serious hand cramps right now. I gave you my thoughts and my impression of these, and I should take the light off to show you what I was actually looking at. You see the forest, you can actually see it has one gray, but in this forest picture there's actually like so much different shades of gray. Yeah. And then the other beautiful one is actually the ocean. It doesn't give you any color here to represent sand or beach. It just gives you some grays, a white, and a silver color, and all the rest are blues. So yeah, it doesn't really, and even this, even if it's giving you color to match this, it's not giving you these darker tones here, or these lighter tones here, because it doesn't have a lot of yellow ochre kind of color in it. It's just, and the sunset, the sunset shows a lot of yellows and orange, but it's not a lot of yellows or orange here. And especially for these shadow colors, there's no black. So that was what I was saying. It doesn't feel complete when it comes to the curated set it's trying to depict. I'm thankful that I was able to get these sets together, all 4 of them together, because now thinking about the environment or the landscape that these color pencils are trying to depict, you will definitely need colors from the mountains for sunsets, especially some of their darker tones. You will definitely need colors from the ocean for the forest, especially when it comes to the blues. So I'm thinking that it was meant to work together. Especially for the ocean, you will need colors from the mountain set because you'll need to depict sand. So yeah, I'm thinking it was meant to work together. So I'm thankful that I got all 4 sets together, because I'm thinking they're meant to work together. Interestingly, there is no black. in all 4 sets, not one of them came with a black. Two of them came with white, the ocean and the mountains. Both came with a white color pencils, but none of them came with a black. That's an interesting observation. And none of them came with a true orange either, which is also an interesting observation, meaning that one of them is depicting sunset. Yeah. But all in all, you've gotten my first thoughts and my impression of these. I'm going to take these away now, probably for a week or two, and I'm going to work with them, look at them, use them on different types of paper and stuff like that, and then I'm going to bring that back to you in the same video. So don't go anywhere. It's the same video. I'm going to bring back part 2 for you. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this journey, and as always, stay safe, stay blessed, and I'll see you. It'll be maybe 1 or 2 weeks for me, but definitely 2 seconds for you. Hi friends, welcome back to part 2 of this video. And as you can see, I have them in a pencil case. Yeah, I needed to put them in a pencil case because I plan to discard the packaging. So I have them together with other pointer pencils that I have. You would have seen the swatched in part 1. Yeah, this is them on black, how beautiful they look, and this is them on white. Things that I noticed, I'll discuss those in my color up. I do have a coloring section. I'll pre-designate out, well, it's actually upside down, yeah, for us to color, and I will be using the full range that is in here, only for the fact that if you look at it, especially when it's on white, if you look at it, it looks like it is a full set of pencils, because where this falls short, this is strong, and where this is short, here is strong, here is strong, here is strong. So I'm thinking that this set has to be worked together, and I did do some exercises with them, which I do plan to discuss with you. Not only swatch them, but I also did a couple exercises with them. Here is one of them. Let me bring you guys out a bit. Yeah, right here. And I used different colored pencils to see if I had anything that matched the vibrancy of these pencils here. And yeah, so this is the pointers part. I use a pointer premium. I have some pointer brilliance or intense and the pastel pointers. I also see how they fit in with the Prismacolor and the my neighbor's passing, and the Faber-Castell, and also the Crayola color pencils. And I just wrote little notes to myself, like for instance, the Crayola color pencil is very soft. The pointers now, the Prismacolor Juniors are much softer than I imagined. They're even more softer than the premium pointer color pencils. These leads are very firm, but not as firm as the Lapis de Colorist Pastel. These ones are more harder than the than all 4 of these pointers pencils that I have. But the lead are firm in the curated set, but it's brilliant. Those are notes I wrote for myself. I also did a little tester here, as you can see. Yeah, where I just used the color, swatched them out, and use the color to color a piece. I did some blending and mixing. They don't really blend, they don't really mix, they don't really layer, but if I go with very light color laydown, I could get some layering and blending effects. Okay, here what we're seeing is that, let me give you a bit more light here. Yeah, here what we're seeing is that I did the same thing, swatch out all their colors, use it for an illustration, but here is where I actually tested out with colorless blender, odorless mineral blender, and I blend with white, and I found that it blends better with the white than with the colorless blender or the odorless mineral spirit, because with the mineral spirit, it tends to kind of lighten the color a lot. It didn't give me the vibrancy of the color with the odorless mineral spirits. It's like it kind of dissolved it. So yeah, so those were some of the kind of play arounds I was doing. I also wanted to do it, well, to play around with these with the curated marker sets, but I never got to it. And this is where I just realized that the curated marker set, when compared to the curated color set, doesn't really match up. Like there's completely different colors in their skin tone, because the curated marker set does have a skin tone. It has a gray tone, and this tone here that's called natural is not like this tone here, the forest set. There's completely different colors. So I didn't want to mix and match the colors because this seems to be something completely different than what is here. Okay, let's get this started. These pencils were very smooth. They were very easy to work with. I'm sure I would have spoke of that green that broke in the first part of this video, and the one thing that hurt me a lot was there was no color names to these pencils. So I really had to, you'll see like little engraving on the edge of them where I actually put numbers in so I could have some form of reference. Multiple leads wear down very quickly with me, I noticed. I know I said I thought in previously while using these that they didn't wear down easily, but definitely in that honeymoon lace nostalgia sketchbook they did. And so I was also working with that. I do have a sharpener to my side where I can easily sharpen it, and it wasn't too much a problem. I did notice that when you put too much color down and you're doing that burnishing effect, these pencils do tend to be very glossy. And so I was aiming not to burnish, but basically to put enough color on the surface and to maintain the tooth of the surface, I should say. The mountain set came with cool grays, and the forest set and the ocean came with grays. However, there was not a lot of warm, well, actually there was a lot of warm grays in this set, in the 4 pencil range I'm talking about, but not in the there was no cool grays. There was very limited cool grays. I think there was only like 2 cool grays in this entire set. The other thing that I noticed, there's so much thing that I noticed, this is going to last some time, guys. If you hear it crumbling, it's just me flipping my notes around. Some of the things, there's a silver, it did have some mica, it did show off some mica, so I don't think I could use the silver like a cool gray. I'll definitely need to use the silver as a silver, and it works well with conventional sharpeners. I did not pull that. It pulled out minimally, and I didn't talk about its water solubility at all. It was minimally to almost moderate water soluble. I noticed that when I did the water solubility test, the violets and blues and browns were very water soluble. I could have almost used those like watercolor pencils. The yellows, not so much. The green, I did what we highlighted, and I did some comparisons to the premium bright colors from Pointers, the Pointer Intenso, which is a very firm pencils. Their premium bright colors is very soft. I'll call these curated sets a very firm pencil. They're not too soft, not too hard, but definitely those pastel pencils from Pointers are definitely firm. I also compare it to other color pencils that I have, like the Crayola, the Faber-Castell Classics, and the Prismacolor Juniors. And like I said, these were more firmer than the Prismacolor Juniors, and they seem to have the same bit of firmness like the Faber-Castell Classics, but the Faber-Castell Classics just seems to be a bit more harder lead than that, and definitely the Crayola had very hard lead. Just checking how much minutes I have. The pencils erase moderately well. It kind of erased moderately well, but I would say if I did very light pressure on them, I probably could have erased very completely. The vibrancy was there. I actually talked about it diminishing with mineral violets, and the best form of blending with these were the white pencils, because other blending methods didn't work for me. It doesn't really blend by burnishing. Like I said, I'd had to do very light touches, very light lay down for it to blend with me or for me to get color variations. That the color pencils does not match the curated alcohol sets. Well, y'all, I already talked about that. It did not match the alcohol set, so I have to find a different method to use that little sample sheet. And we got a few more minutes. I should talk about this piece. This piece is actually in the Annie's coloring community coloring book that she made, a free book. This is one of the pictures or one of the pieces that I contributed to it. I just wanted to do it because I think this piece had enough of what I wanted to depict. I wanted to depict some skies. I wanted to depict the forest. I wanted to depict the one thing I wish this curated set come with, and maybe it does, but it was just not available to me, was a skin tone, because I was actually struggling on how I would have colored the skin for the lady in that forest. I mean, I could have colored the trees, it would have been no big deal, but the lady did cause me a bit of headache. So I if her skin looks a bit yellow, that's the reason why. I talked about it. I talked about the comparison. It did share some colors with the other sets. The sunset shared like maybe six. The sunset shared like 7 colors, look similar to those in the Intensico. And also the mountains look like 3 colors in the Intensico. Now the Intensico is a 36 color set, and it did share some colors with it, but I wouldn't use this to make a full color pencil set because it didn't come with a black, like I said. So it does share some colors with the Intensos, I think that's the name of the color pencils, well, the intensive color pencils. And it also shared some with the bright color set, but because it didn't give you that full range, it didn't give you that skin tone, it's not something I would use to make a full set pencil, because those are colors that I really use a lot. I do use black in my artwork, and I do use skin tone. Okay, so I wouldn't buy this to make a full set. That's what I'm saying. I bought it because it was a good curiosity tool, and honestly, I honestly do enjoy working with the leads of this pencil. It gave me that kind of in-between firmness I like. I just wish there was a skin tone set that came with a black. All in all, I will tell you in the wrap up what score I gave these with when I compare them to other color pencils that I have. The score that I gave these is quite surprising. Okay, so you would have heard my full thoughts on these Pointer Curated sets. I have them off here. These were the little numbering that I said I put on each set. So each set, there's a little numbering from 1 to 12. This one is for Ocean that I'm showing you. And did I use this? I think no, I didn't. And also I will also put up the scoring that I had with these in comparison to the other Pointer color pencils that I have, and also in comparison to the Crayola, because that is also very, very interesting. As you can see, it does produce beautiful colors. I love the lead of this. It is wonderful. There is the upside to this would have been its vibrancy, its layering, its blendability, and its erasability, and the fact that, you know, some of the, not all, I think especially the green that I highlighted, which would have been this one here. Yeah, it's best I sharpen with a crank sharpener, because when I sharpen with a standard sharpener, with this, it tends to crack the barrel, the wooden barrel, a lot. So it's best to sharpen with a crank sharpener, and so for that it only got a point. So I will put those scores out, and this was a joy to work with. Like I said, if you want this coloring page, not only I believe it's on my Patreon, but it's also in that free coloring book that I contributed to for Annie Claxton over at Annie Farty community. So you can also get this there. And guys, let me know what you think of these Pointer Curated sets. This one is Forest. Yeah, there's my number again. Yeah. So let me know what you think of these curated sets. Have you used them before? Is it something exclusively to the country of Belize? If you're living in the country of Belize, is this something you're considering to get? Let me know all those beautiful goodness in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for joining me on this journey, and please stay safe, stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.